All right, what's going on? So your name is Nick, right?
I am here with Nick.
Okay, not gonna even try to pronounce your last name.
Win. That's it.
Um, okay, yeah, you can pronounce that. So what's up, man? How's it going?
Good, dude. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. So, the last interview I did was actually really good. So let's just get right into it. So, how long have you been trading? Like, when did you start? Like, how did you get into this? What made you want to trade, first of all?
So I actually started trading during COVID because
Yeah,
I was working at a biotech company and we went remote and then everyone like kind of put on pause. So I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. So started trading, traded with a couple friends, and similar story to you, like started with options, or I did penny stocks for a little bit, was kind of
yeah.
profitable, moved to options, was profitable for a while. But honestly, like trading during COVID was easy. Like you could just literally
Buy
throw
and yeah,
anything at a
yeah,
wall and something would stick.
yeah.
And afterwards, I was in grad school, so graduated in 2022, and then was like, oh, this is sick. Like, paid for grad school with trading, kept doing it,
Yeah.
and then started losing, and was like, I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
So then I was on a super long losing streak, and then randomly like stumbled across Justin's Twitter and your Twitter.
Justin Werline. Yeah.
Yeah, so you two are the ones that I like learned ICT concepts from. And at
Yeah.
first, I like started watching like ICT's videos, and I was like, dude, these are so boring. Like this guy's going on for like 2 hours just for like a
Yeah.
10-minute piece of like important information. So I started
Yeah.
watching you guys, and ever since then, like joined your Discord. Ended up joining your Discord just because found your content on Twitter super helpful, videos are super
Okay.
helpful, and then just wanted to hang and find a good community.
Yeah. So you are a paid member of my Discord. The last thing I interviewed was not a paid member, but he was pretty successful. And like, what made you like when you got into trading? Like, when you were in COVID, did you like search it up on YouTube? Like, what did you do?
Like when I first started trading,
Yeah. Like, how do you actually find it?
dude, yeah, literally, I everything
Like, you
through
just typed in
everything.
like how to make money, or like what did
No,
you
no, no.
type
I
in?
was just
Or
typing
did
in
you?
like I was in Facebook groups. I was in searching on YouTube. I was
Okay.
like all over the place, just trying like Reddit, trying to figure things out. Uh,
Yeah. And then trading just like popped up, and I'm like, oh, I might as well try this.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. And how did you find me? Did you use my Twitter just pop up for you,
I don't know
or do
exactly.
you not remember?
I don't remember exactly how you came up, but I think that the sequence of events was basically watching videos on YouTube, and then I think TT Trades was one of the
Yeah,
people that I first started watching, and then
yeah,
it was like he
T trades.
introduced me
Yeah,
to like the ICT concepts, and then I learned about breaker blocks, and then like iFVGs, and then I started just looking around, and then you just popped up on Twitter, and I use Twitter a ton.
yeah, yeah. I do too. Yeah, I love Twitter, dude.
So then I saw you on Twitter, and I was like, oh well, let me just hit follow, and I actually followed you for like 3 4 months, like didn't interact, didn't check
Yeah,
out your Discord or anything, and I was just like seeing what you posted just to like kind of doing my diligence just to see
yeah,
like
yeah,
how consistent you
yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
I
mean?
got
And then I
that.
was like, oh,
Yeah,
you've been posting for a while and like pretty consistently every single day. So I was like, oh, okay, why not?
yeah, exactly. And what do you think you've gotten the most value off of on my Twitter besides my humor and sarcasm?
Uh, actually, that's what got me to follow you because I remember when I first followed you, you were like it was all jokes and you would like banter with a bunch of people.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, show me your verified 1 year payout," and then
Yeah, yeah,
I'd send them like some like I remember I sent someone an email when I blew one of my accounts, and I sent him like, "Sorry, Dodgy, we're sorry to hear you blew your account." I sent him a screenshot. He's like, "See, I told you couldn't trade," or so I don't even know. I was just messing with someone, but
What stood out
um,
on your Twitter? Honestly, like the consistency. Like
okay,
I think it was the consistency of how much you posted, but also like
yeah,
consistently. And I think when I say consistency, it wasn't like I was seeing, you were posting like, oh, I made $5,000 today. Oh, I made $10,000 today. It was like
yeah, I hate
realistic.
that.
Yeah, it was like
I
realistic
hate that.
things, right? Like $200 today, $500
Yeah,
today. And I was like, okay,
yeah.
it's like this is seems legit.
Yeah. No, I get it. The people say they make like 50K a day, dude. Like they're either one putting 50K in to make 50K, which no one has, or two they lost 100K other day, and then now they
Yeah,
made 10K
exactly.
or something, you know. But I don't know. And they already have a lot of money from like just Discord and just other memberships and stuff. But I don't know. So, what do you how has your success been trading iFVGs?
So at first, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit rough, and that was
Yeah,
because I was learning from you and Justin, and I think Justin goes for higher R, like higher RR,
yeah,
and he doesn't do like a like
the break
the
even thing.
break even thing. So when I
Yeah, that
first,
really helps.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he always goes for a retest. So he always like waits for like a 2022 model.
yeah,
Um, so like the entry is a little bit lower, but when I first started trading iFVGs, I didn't realize like how important that break even was. And
yeah,
so like your entry is like a little bit higher, but the win percentage is higher, but then
yeah,
your RR is a little bit lower. So once I got adjusted to that and like started believing in the break even process, like
yeah.
changed my game a ton.
Okay. And have you got any payouts?
Yeah, I've gone like since so I joined your Discord, I think
Yeah.
in I want to say February, and I
Okay.
think I've gotten over like 30K payouts.
Okay. Cool. Um, so that's pretty good. And you just do take partials? Do you like hold full TP every time? Like, how do you manage your risk and stuff? And how do you do your stop loss?
So I've kind of taken like what you've taught and like added my own thing to it. Um,
Okay.
at first, I was doing pretty much like by the book, textbook, like what you're doing. And then once I built my account up a little bit more,
Yeah.
I switched to minis, but I still only like I'm like you, I can't take more than like two minis or else I lose. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'll usually only take one or two max, but usually when I take one, if it gets to the break even, I'll do like a mental break even. Just
Yeah.
just because I feel like at this point I know, like you said so many times on stream, like if it breaks down, like if it falls through this iFVG, like it's gonna fail, right? So
Yeah, because if the market, if you're truly right, is the market really going to slow down there? No, it's
yeah,
either one
exactly.
bad price action or two you're wrong.
So yeah, I'll do pretty much textbook like what you teach now, except for
Yeah,
with a single mini, what I'll do is once it gets to the break even, I'll just do a mental break even, and then I'll give myself like a little bit of flex room.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And do you ever change your break even based off of like how much conviction you have in us going higher? Like if there's equal highs versus no equal highs or something.
Yeah, yeah, definitely all the time.
So okay, so like if there's equal highs, do you kind of wait a little bit longer, or how does that work?
Yeah, like 100%. Like I think you say this all the time, right? Like
Yeah,
you know, there's like one way of trading where it's just textbook, but then you can't be too robotic, right? Like you got to look at
yeah,
everything in context.
exactly, exactly. And what would you say? What's your biggest losing streak been?
Ooh, since joining your or since training iFVGs,
Yeah, yeah.
probably like a week, like 5 days in a row.
Really interesting.
Yeah,
You lost 5 trades in a row.
5 days in a row, not five trades.
Oh, well, what's your okay? Do you know your biggest losing streak like trades in a row?
Oh, trades in a row. Probably like three max. It's
Yeah.
not. The only reason it's 5 days is because sometimes I'll, like you said it this morning, like sometimes I'll be a donut and
Yeah.
I'm up like 500, even like $1,000 on a day.
Yeah.
Or you know what the worst is that like I'm up $995 and I'm like,
Oh God.
oh, I just need to get like just get to a
Uh,
thousand and then I'll lose. And then I'm
you
like
can't
at
do that.
800 and then I'll go down like
You
that.
can't.
I
You can't
know.
do that.
That's like the
Who
biggest,
cares, dude?
that's part I'm still like working on.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I never. That's why I don't look at my P&L. I never look at my P&L for that reason. Not that it would affect me, but no, that's bad. That's bad. And what was the hardest part about learning iFVGs? You think? Like the model I
iFVGs.
teach, just the model I teach. Like, is it?
Honestly, I don't think it's that like your PDF is, I think, super easy to digest. Like, if there's four confluences to A plus, basically, right? Like if it's three, it's an A. Or like
Yeah, yeah,
like I think the hardest thing, I don't know if it's like a learning thing, but it's like definitely an experience thing, is the break even part. Like
yeah. Exactly.
sometimes the RR is like one or even less, and you just have to
Yeah,
sometimes you have to be happy with like $100. It's 100 point
exactly.
volume, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. And when you What do you think the easiest part of learning it was?
Once I realized like how high your like win percentage is,
Yeah.
as long as you like follow the rules, I was like,
Yeah.
dude, you can scalp a quick 10-point win like 4 or 5 times a day when a lot of other IC, and that was another reason why I really had conviction to join your Discord, was because most of these other ICT traders are like, I did one trade, I'm logging off. And it's like, dude, sometimes I have work or sometimes I didn't wake up on
Yeah.
time. Like I'm on the West Coast. So like sometimes I didn't wake up at 6:30. I'd
Yeah.
log on at like 6:45 and they're like, I'm logging off for the day. I'm like, dude.
I never, even after I take my one trade, I don't log off. There's because I'm an educational service,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
there's going to be multiple inverses in a day. Always, every single time frame, you can find more than one easily. Now on a day like today, it can be a little hard to find the A+ ones, but like yesterday, the price action there's like 5 A+ setups yesterday, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but today there's a big overnight range last night, so that wasn't good. What's your favorite signature and price to take an entry off of?
Like
Like the
if
favorite like
if I
light bulb
like if I
moment.
see it, I'm gonna take it no matter what.
Yeah.
Is actually a combination of what you and Justin teach. So
Yeah.
like if I see a 2022
SMT.
SMT, and if I see a 2022 overlap with an iFVG, basically like an inception gap, like
Yeah,
I'll pretty
yeah.
much
Yep.
always take that.
Exactly. Exactly. And do you wait for the retest on that or do you take the close?
Uh, it's a little risky, but I usually take the close and then give myself, like in my mentality, I'm like, I'm gonna average down it. I'm gonna pyramid it in here.
Really? Okay, interesting. Because I don't do that, so that's cool. And last but not least, honestly, you've answered every question well. What do you say is like your biggest non-financial advice for someone like really struggling to get payouts or just struggling in general?
Biggest thing is like what you said, like you cannot look at your P&L. I've
Yeah.
every time I get a payout or go on like a 10-day win streak, I'm just like, I hit 2 trades and I log off. It's always
Yeah.
the days where I'm like, oh, I'm at like $560 and I want to get to 600. Those are the days I have.
Yeah. Okay. Um, and what was I gonna say? Second. Okay. Okay. Now, do you like have different sizing positions for like if you're in eval or funded, or how does that work?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You size have your in eval, I'm assuming.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Eat funded, I'll go like 2 cons max.
Yeah.
Every time I try to go 3, I like psych myself out with the dollar amount, and then it's because it's like even if you're not looking at your P&L, like I can do the math in my head really quick. You know what I mean?
I
Like
know I can too. It's
it's like
so annoying.
I'm like, dude,
It's
like
so
10
annoying.
points, 40 ticks, 3 cons. That's like $600. I'm down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's
quick.
like you just multiply three numbers and it's like boom, dude. I know how you
Yeah.
eval. Yeah.
Eval, I'll usually start at like 2 and then I'll go to like 4 max on minis,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
usually like not much more.
Okay. And what do you do the stop loss like a close under the fair value gap too? Or like close above, or how does that work for you? Or do you do it the high or low?
It honestly depends on like what price is actually doing, because there's times where like today, right? Like we had a crazy wick on one of the stops. Like it just
Yeah.
hit the trend line, bounced right back up.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like when it was happening real time, I was like, dude, I'm gonna stop out because I don't want to risk it stopping this far below and then just like getting a crazy death
Exactly,
candle.
exactly.
So it's kind of
No, I get
context.
that.
It's kind of
Yeah,
context.
yeah, I get that. I get that. And when you were on that like losing streak, or when you lost 5 days, like for other people who are losing that much, like what do you think about? Like, what's your mindset like when you take three losing trades?
It's like usually if I'm taking like that week, for example, I was just like in a bad mindset. I was just, one, trying to rush making money. Two, I was like revenge trading. Um,
Yeah.
and three, I was just like being greedy, like trying to squeeze out an extra. And you said all the time, right? Like are those 5 ticks worth, not taking
Exactly.
profit?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and so like I have a little dog. And what I
yeah.
do is like if I go on a losing streak, what I try to do is just like take a step away from my computer, take my dog out really quick, and I'll come back in like 5 minutes. Like
I
nothing's,
know someone else who does that. It
yeah,
works a
right.
lot.
Like
It
nothing's
like
gonna
resets your
happen
brain. It
yeah,
resets your mind and brain, you know?
yeah, exactly. Like market's not gonna go away in 5 minutes.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, honestly, really solid answers. And what are your goals for the future?
Um, so I'm probably like one of the few. Like I don't want to trade full time ever. I've
Inter-
always seen it as like a hobby thing.
Interesting.
I really enjoy it. It's a really fun like passion and hobby of mine.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't want to make it something that's like a job where I feel like I have to do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like personally, like I enjoy what I do,
Okay.
so I don't mind.
Do you do you work like so you work every day still?
Yeah,
And are you like online every day or is it online or in person?
I'm hybrid, so I go in three
So
days a
you're
week.
hybrid. Okay, so they changed that after COVID, obviously, because they
Yeah, yeah,
obviously determined workflow didn't really change that much. And some people get more work done at home. So the days you're in the office, do you still trade or?
yeah. So I wake up. So I don't go into the office until 9. So
Oh,
usually I
okay.
wake up at
What time
6.
are you? Are you
I'm
Pacific?
yeah,
Oh,
I'm Pacific.
okay.
So it's
So
easy.
yeah, you still got 3 hours. Yeah, yeah,
six
yeah. So
thirty
you
until
just
like usually 8. By
yeah,
then I'm like by then I usually log off before you
yeah,
log off, or if not, you log off by then anyway. So it's like
yeah, yeah. Cool. So yeah, someone. I guess it's easier to trade if you're in the West Coast if you have a job that starts at 9. In the East Coast, you really can't do that though. So I guess it's your location.
yeah. The big
Otherwise,
reason
you can
why
do
I
it.
actually started trading futures was because my job doesn't allow me to trade other like companies like blue chips.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're right. They don't. Um, yeah, you can get in trouble for that. All right. That's really much. That's really it.
Is that good?
So appreciate the interview. Have fun at your dinner, and yeah,
Cool.
thanks for coming on,
Catch you
man.
on Monday.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Later. Thanks, bro.
Yep. Dude, that's awesome. So, really interesting perspective there. He says that he honestly prefers working and he doesn't want to do it full time. Now, the cool thing about that is, I guarantee you, if he had to depend on trading, I bet you he would trade worse. Okay. Right. I have multiple streams of income now. I have my Discord community. I have like affiliate codes, whatever. And honestly, like, yeah, it relieves the pressure. But before I had all that, I still did well before I had all that. But I also had like I was working as a dishwasher. I had other streams of income. You know, I have other investments. Like before I even got into trading, I already have other investments. Like just from like my parents just investing for me for my birthday when I was like really young, whatever. Like I had, and that really does ease it a little bit. So which is good, and it's just super cool to kind of listen to that perspective because you don't really get a lot of people like that who are like, oh, I don't want to trade full time, but it shows that like you can trade better and make more money if you do have another passive income. So what some people do is they trade, they make their first 100K trading, and then they start putting them in real estate, and then they get passive income that way. Then they start trading better, can scale their trading because they have real estate. So it's all dependent on what you want to do. And super cool guy, super nice interview, and that's gonna be it for this one. Peace.